So we've all seen what generative AI can do, right? You type in a few words and bam, in seconds, you get this stunning, complex piece of art. It's honestly an incredible leap in technology. But in Japan, that same power is kicking off a massive crisis for one of its most beloved cultural exports, manga. And this isn't just about some new software. This is shaping up to be a battle for the very soul of an industry, and it's forcing a really tough conversation about the future of art itself.
Okay, so let's just break this down to get to the real heart of the conflict here. On one side, you've got this insane speed. You type a prompt like, a samurai girl in Tokyo, and boom, you get a finished image in like 30 seconds. But on the other side, you've got the human artist pouring over 40 hours of their life, their skill, and their vision into just one piece. I mean, from that first little spark of an idea, to the sketch, the inking, the coloring, it's a total labor of love. And that, right there, is the million-dollar question we're digging into. This isn't just a shiny new tool. For so many people in the manga world, this feels like an existential threat, something that could unravel an entire industry that's been built on human craft for generations. To really get why this is such a big deal, let's start by exploring the fears that are gripping the industry, beginning with the pretty overwhelming reaction from a lot of the artists themselves. And the numbers. Oh, they really tell a story. A survey from Japan's Manga Research Institute shows that, yeah, a big majority of manga artists have a negative view of AI. But what's really fascinating to me is that other part of the chart. That's where you see the artists who are split or undecided. And that group includes some of the country's top creators. So this tells you right away, it is not a simple us versus them debate.
This quote from the manga artist Pepe, who actually moved all the way from Italy to Japan just to pursue his dream, it just captures that shock perfectly. It's that raw human fear of seeing your life's work, your whole livelihood, potentially just gone overnight.
Okay, so the fear isn't just about jobs. The single biggest, most explosive issue that's tearing through the industry is copyright. There's this deep-seated belief, and a lot of evidence pointing this way, that these incredibly powerful AI models are being trained on a massive library of existing artwork, their artwork, without anyone asking, without their consent, and definitely without any compensation.
And that suspicion, it pretty much exploded into full-blown outrage when AI-generated images started popping up that looked suspiciously similar to some of the world's most famous characters. I mean, we're talking about Nintendo's Mario, characters from Pokemon, and the cast of Demon Slayer. This has led to a major pushback, as you can imagine. Japan's biggest publishers protested publicly, and industry groups like the Content Overseas Distribution Association, also known as CODA, are now leading the charge. They're demanding transparency from the tech giants, basically saying, show us exactly what data you're using to train these models. But hold on, the story isn't all doom and gloom. Let's flip to the other side of the argument and see how some folks are starting to see this technology not as a threat, but as a seriously powerful new tool. Just like we saw in that chart, opinions are really split. The threat viewpoint is pretty clear. AI could devalue and replace core artistic skills. But that tool perspective is gaining some serious traction. Some artists are thinking, hey, what if I could use AI to handle the really tedious parts of the job? Stuff like drawing complex backgrounds or even helping brainstorm story ideas. That would free them up to focus on what really matters, the characters and the narrative. And the potential upsides go way beyond just helping out an individual artist. On a huge, industry-wide level, AI is being used for some incredible new things. From translating manga for a global audience to tackling a problem that has been a nightmare for publishers for decades, online piracy. You have to imagine, for years and years, trying to track down illegally uploaded manga online was this slow, painful, manual job. It took whole teams of people just to search, identify, and report pirated comics. It was a grind, and it was incredibly labor-intensive. And this is where the change is just whoa. Now with AI, these new AI agents can scour the internet and report pirated content almost instantaneously. That is a massive leap in efficiency that could actually protect creators' work on a global scale. So, okay, with AI looking like it could handle both the creative grunt work and the big logistical problems, it kind of forces us to step back and ask a much deeper, more philosophical question. I mean, really think about it. If a machine can create beautiful art and a machine can protect that art online, what's the inherent worth of something made by a person? What makes the work of a human artist special anymore? A lot of people believe the answer lies in what you could call the human touch. It's that intangible thing, right? That emotional value that comes from knowing a piece of art is the result of a real person's unique skill, their personal struggle, and their individual vision. Those are qualities a machine just can't replicate. Think of it like this. What's the difference between a pair of mass-produced, factory-made shoes and a pair of hand-stitched leather shoes made by a master artisan? I mean, they both do the same job, but one of them carries the story and the skill of its creator, and that gives it a whole different kind of value. It's exactly what this tech contributor was getting at. It's about valuing the expressions of what makes us human. It's an appreciation for the story behind the work, not just the final picture you see on the page. And this brings us right back around to the artist. This is precisely why it's so significant when someone like Pepe decides to create a work entirely from scratch. No AI, not even any human assistance. It becomes a pure expression of that human touch. It's a statement. So after weighing all of this, the fears of copyright theft and jobs disappearing against the promise of these incredible new creative tools, where does that leave the future of one of the world's most beloved art forms? Well, this debate is far, far from over. This technology is forcing all of us to really think about what we value in art, what we feel is worth protecting, and what it even means to be a creator here in the 21st century. The next chapter for Manga, and for all of us really, is still being written.